Hello everyone, it's Fandoms HD, and I'm here to talk about the whole Dream Tale thing I had talked about around like a year or two ago, I don't remember, but recently that video has been getting traction somehow. I didn't expect that. And apparently a lot of people have been unaware of that situation, and guess what? I found more. They have also committed actual crimes, including grooming. So, yeah, and if you don't know who this is about the Dream Tale creator Joku. I have already covered why she's strange, especially for the way she portrays Dream in specific. Especially in his human form, he is shown to be very childlike, but she also very much like sexualizes him while making him look like a child. And it turns out, I found out earlier today, that she has also groomed somebody. I didn't know that. That's fun. And I also found out more stuff. Oh, how fun. I also found out, the most popular children ship. That's a fun sentence. The most popular child ship is Palette and Goth. Guess what? It's a weird relationship. Goth is a groomer. The creator described him as, and I quote, very childlike. He looks like a child and acts like a child. Teehee. That's not good. He's 20 years old and he meets Palette when Palette is 16. Or 12. I can't remember. It was 12 or 16. I don't remember. It was one of those two ages. And when they meet, he doesn't tell him his real age. But he does start flirting with him and stuff like that, despite him being a grown man. And the creator made this canon. Yeah, canon. You heard me right. From what I have heard, however, the creator of Palette has stopped associating with the creator of Goth because they do have a very strange obsession with shipping adults with children. I personally find that funny that even after that, the creator of Palette has still made it canon that still happened. Like, ever since then, they have not said anything about it not being canon anymore. All they have said is that they do not support ships like that anymore. They used to be friends, but they stopped being friends, obviously, which is probably a good thing. Not gonna lie. I personally have never liked the ship. It always gave me weird vibes. I didn't even know their ages. I just never liked it. It made me uncomfortable to see. I don't know why. It just made me severely uncomfortable. But now I know. It's like when I was younger, I could sniff it out. Same with PJ's Daycare. I never liked PJ's Daycare. I thought it was weird. I still do. Obviously. Same with the, what's it called? Same with the creator of Slash. Their content tends to be very suggestive toward abuse. I don't know. I just personally find it weird. I don't know if it's a huge controversy or anything. I find it weird. But yeah, I found this out on TikTok about the Palette and Goth thing. I will show the name of the creator who I found it out from. Their art is very pretty, by the way. I love it. I will be posting art today, by the way, on YouTube and TikTok. I'm so sorry for literally leaving the YouTube people dry. I have been very busy on Minecraft. That's it. And the whole Joku thing, I have never been happier in my entire life to dislike a person and be right about disliking them. Apparently, like I said, they were a groomer, and there were a few other things. I don't remember what they were, but you can search up Dreamtale creator controversy and you can likely find a video on it. It's in Spanish though, the one I found, so you might have to use captions or find a way to translate it to English if you don't speak Spanish already. If you do, you're good. I'm very happy I keep finding these kinds of people because it makes me feel a little bit of joy. Knowing people are this stupid, like, genuinely. And not only does, like, Joku a groomer, but they also have shipped Nightmare and Dream, brothers, by the way, together multiple times. Someone tried to make a argument in my comments. I don't think they were trying to make it sound any better, but they were just saying that it was based off of Greek mythology. I'm so sorry, but you are incorrect. The aesthetic is based off of Greek mythology, not the actual AU. It's just the aesthetic. They are Spanish, by the way. So no, it is not based off of Greek mythology. Even if it was, that's still very weird to include in an AU and make it be shown in a good way. Like, if it, even back in the old, like, back in ancient Greece, it was seen as weird to be with family members. And if you're like, no, that's not true, there's this one, I don't remember if it was a poem or just a story. It's a story about this man who is told, like, his father is told by I think a prophet, that his son will kill him and marry his wife. So, which is, weird. So, what the dad does is he has his son, he tells someone to kill his son, but the person can't kill him, so he just gives him to his shepherd family. And years later, the son comes to that same kingdom, unfortunately, and he runs into the king, and they get into a little scuffle. His father, by the way. They get into a fight. After getting into the fight, long story short, the son kills his father and marries his wife. But his wife doesn't know he killed his father. The son just ended up meeting his mother, by the way, and marrying her. And after he finds out, he gouges his own eyeballs out and throws himself out onto the streets. And the mother kills herself. Yeah, pretty bad, right? That's an ancient Greek poem or story, by the way. It was still seen as weird back then. It was not seen as good. So obviously, no, that cannot be used as an excuse to ship siblings. That's disgusting. I'm so glad they didn't make it canon, because then I would probably just steal their AU from them at this point. It needs to be in a better place. The lore of the AU, by the way, from how it goes, is Nim, their Dream and Nightmare's mother, or creator, gets into a battle with this person. I don't remember who it is, but I think it's this human dude. I don't remember. But after getting into the fight, she wins, but she's severely injured. So she has to create Nightmare and Dream. And after creating them, she goes into tree form to heal. And Nightmare and Dream kind of just protect her. that same man's spirit, you know, the man who attacked her, he manipulates Nightmare into eating the negative apple, and he takes over his body. So that's who Nightmare is. He is that guy. And that guy's goal is to kill Dream to officially end Nim's bloodline and stop anyone from stopping him. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to learn. So if you ship Dream and Nightmare, a corrupted version, you're basically shipping Dream with the man who not only almost murdered his mother, he also manipulated his brother and stole his body. Think about that next time you want to ship that and use that as the excuse that it's not a Nightmare. It's still someone who tried to murder his mother. So maybe don't ship that, okay? There hasn't been anything else really, to be honest. I mean, I haven't heard anything else. The whole Joku thing is kind of funny to me, though, because it just shows how comfortable people can get online. You know, you shouldn't allow yourself to get so comfy, to be honest, because it's kind of weird to ship siblings. It's just it's the aesthetic of Greek culture. Again, even if it was, it's not okay. And from what I learned, Dream and Nightmare are also based on Princess Celestia and Princess Luna from My Little Pony. And guess what? They're sisters. Funny, right? Obviously that, like, I just... And there are a couple people who did try to justify it a little bit. It didn't feel like they were 100% on board with the shipping thing, but they were trying to justify the creator's mistakes. And I'm sorry, but that's still trying to support someone who supports incest, which is disgusting, by the way. Ew. For one. That's all I really have to say about them, other than the Dream Sans human design. I'm actually finally making it. I was supposed to, like, a year ago. But I still haven't made it. So I am working on it currently. I did also make a Swap Sans human design. I'm gonna start with the Star Sanses, obviously, and then start moving on to the others, and eventually I'll have as many of the popular ones and mine as possible made into human form. And for mine, their human forms will be canon, by the way, so I would appreciate if you did not change their races, by the way, because all of their races are very important to their character. Actually, there's one or two characters where it's not important, but for almost every other character, it is very important to their character. Direction, especially, it is very, very important to his actual character because of how he grew up and where he lived and his religion. I'm gonna just say it right now. Direction is a German Jewish child. Was a child at some point. When he was a kid, he was very much disliked because of his religion, because he was Jewish, or race. A lot of people like to call it a race, but I think it's more of a religion. I'm not sure. But because of that, people did not like him or his family very much. So, you know, his family was very isolated. And it's very important to his character, especially his backstory. So I would appreciate if no one were to try and change his race in fan art or anything, because it is very, like, I'm trying to give a certain kind of representation in this, and taking that away would be very annoying. I do have another character. He is African, and I would very much like if no one changed his race. Do not make him white, I swear. Do not make him white. Bubblegum Sans, he is African, and it's also very important to him. I haven't really imported too much of it into his character yet, but I have some plans for it. I will explain it a little better later. And same with Camera Sans. He's Korean, which is very also important to his character. The reason it's important to his character is because of the implications of that specific culture, where in that culture, they are expected, like the beauty standards specifically, pop idols, those kinds of things. He's supposed to be a Korean pop idol in his AU, so therefore he looks and acts a certain way, and he feels certain ways about certain things because of how he grows up in the place he lives in and his culture. So obviously, if you know anything about the Korean beauty standards, they are brutal. They have to be very skinny, very pale, and it's a whole thing. So obviously he has to fit that description because he's supposed to be like the idealistic Korean idol. Direction, he is not supposed to be super attractive, by the way. So if anyone draws fan art of him, you can make him cute, but he is not supposed to be conventionally attractive. He is supposed to be mid at most, and probably a little unattractive because he is quite literally starving skinny. Not normal, not healthy skinny. I mean starving. Because, again, of where he lived. And another character where it's important is Cherry Sans and Sour Patch and Lemon. Since those three are siblings, it's kind of important. Especially due to some of the implications I'm going to be making with their cultures. It's going to have to do... it's going to be... what's it called? They're going to be based around a lot of their Japanese culture, like their mannerisms and stuff. I'm going to have them act certain ways due to what their culture is. So please refrain from, doing race swapping with them, please. And also, there's another one where it's kind of important. Rose Sans. It's also very important that you don't do that to her. She is Chinese. She is an albinistic Chinese woman. And, in China, it is very valued to be pale, so she is conventionally attractive. But her eyes kind of make it a little jarring, so she usually in her human form, I would say she usually wears black contacts or brown. One of the two. Her hair is still considered a little attractive, since it's also kind of gives her the angelic look, because, they're in those countries, the paler the better, which I kind of disagree, but, whatever. And then Bubblegum Sans, I already said I didn't have too much written for him yet, but I do have a few things, like his not his mannerisms. Actually, yeah, his mannerisms and his holidays he celebrates and stuff like that, and the way he acts is going to be very centralized in African culture, so please do not race swap him either. I would really appreciate if you didn't. He's also very discriminated against because of his culture, so I would really appreciate if no one messed with him, obviously. But yeah, I know this was supposed to be a rant about the Dreamtale creator and other stuff, but I kind of changed it on accident. So I hope you enjoyed me not stopping talking for probably like 30 minutes. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. I will be, excuse me, anyway, I will be working on the designs that I was already planning on doing a year ago. But yeah, if you liked the video or have anything you want to say, you can comment, and I will try and make another rant video or something. I don't know.